I don't feel like many people in our world actually live in gratitude like they should. And I don't do shoulds a lot, but I think gratitude is one of the ways that we can move our world from anger and despair, even fear, into a place of joy and love and connection.
Mm-hmm.
That's
Definitely.
my take on gratitude.
Yeah.
Okay, Jeffrey, you want to proceed?
Sure, sure. I try not because I talk too much sometimes, so I'm trying to take a step
No,
back.
no, just go fast. You give me a hype, I will pay
Okay.
after you.
Um, the first book that I talking about gratitude, the first book that I wrote was called Weapon of Choice, and the first poem, and Carrie and Jimmy have probably heard this story already, but the first poem was called Gratitude, and it was dedicated to my fifth grade teacher. And you don't realize how much uh, gratitude can spark things because he told me very early on I think I was a fourth grader, fourth or fifth grader. Yeah, fifth grader, that I would write one day. And and as I reflected on that, once I got to the point where I was writing, finishing up this book, that's all I felt complete gratitude. And before I published anything else, I said, well, I have to write something for this guy who told me such inspiring things so early. And so that was my first really introduction, I guess, to gratitude, to just being grateful for the good comments that come your way or the good uh, actions that come your way from most, in my life at least, it's been strangers. It hasn't been so much family members. It's been people who have taken an interest in me or what was happening with me in my life, and they've given me these words of encouragement. And so that's where I find a lot of my gratitude. I really do. So that's kind of my take on gratitude, or my early beginnings in gratitude.
Mm, I love that.
I like thinking of this, and I do have a morning gratitude practice, and sometimes it's just little things. And I'm learning that. But at the same time, what that's done for me is when something does come up that I think of, I mean, I may not think of it the next morning to write it down, but at the moment, I'll say, oh, well, that's cool. I'm grateful for that. Or at a moment, it trained me, I guess, to notice the things I'm grateful for.
Hmm. Yeah.
And Jeffrey, I'm with you on that because I think about sometimes go back of looking at some of the teachers, and yeah, it was my fifth grade teacher that read Shakespeare to us. Taught us. She had just done a course in England, a master's course or some type of workshop, and had just got back at the beginning of the school year, and so she adapted that to our teaching thing, and we learned the British words for a lot of things,
Mm.
and different things should teach us. Um, Jonathan Livingston Seagull. I'm trying to remember some of the things that we read with her. Escape to Witch Mountain. There was one Forgotten Door, but more things about um, things that we would think about or that we wouldn't have thought about. She opened our eyes to that. Um,
Mm.
and as I started thinking of this, there was another guy in our class who I'm connected with on Facebook after like 50 years. And he said Miss Evans gave him a copy of All the President's Men. This was in
Mm.
1975, so right after it came out. And he
Mm.
read this book, and now my mind's blown. He was always the brain all the way through high school, and
Mm.
this kid at age 11 or however old he was read All the President's Men, and
Mm.
was influenced him to get a degree in political science.
Oh.
Wow.
Uh, so what I saw where I was reading, where I was influenced by Jonathan Livingston Seagull and Escape to Witch Mountain, which
Mhm.
were probably more appropriate for a kid. He was
Mhm.
reading that. So I realized how many other kids did she recognize
Mhm.
something and help them to go onto their way. I'd love to be able to connect with some of the people that were students of hers, or get a hold of her if she's still with us to express that gratitude.
Yeah.
Uh, yeah,
Pretty special.
Yeah.
yeah.
That's beautiful.
And you don't think of it until you start looking for that and saying, oh, is there, I know that exercise people say, anybody who had influenced you at an early age, remember that and start making a list of all this. So I start thinking of all these different people.
Mm.
And a lot of times it's a different person or a new person I hadn't thought of.
Yeah.
Hmm.
Definitely.
Yeah, we don't
Yeah.
realize the impact people make on us. For
Yeah.
sure.
Right.
Definitely. And most of mine, like I've said before, and you guys have already heard this story, I'm sorry, but have been, like I said, these people weren't related to me. Open door missions on the street, um, just yeah, just at the bus stop, just so many different people. I call them my angels, and I really feel that way. I feel like I'm not a religious person, but these people made me a spiritual a person. They
Mhm.
really did. Because the church didn't do it, the mosque, the temple, that stuff never really influenced me spiritually, but the people's actions towards me, their
Yeah.
kindness, and where they didn't benefit at all. They weren't going to benefit by telling me, "Hey, you can do this or get out or get your life together and get out of this homeless mission." Whatever it was, they didn't benefit from it at all. But they were kind enough to say it to me, and it just put me on it changed the trajectory of my life. It really did. And I'm so great. Let me tell you this short, that's why I get going and I talk too much. But let me tell you this short story. I work with special needs kids, autistic kids. Right now it's elementary school. And there's this one particular boy, it brought me to tears last week. This one particular boy, I wasn't working with him, but I would see him as I'm taking other kids to class or to lunch or whatever, and he's screaming and hollering, and they can't get him in the class. And he's like 5 or 6 years old, and he's just having a fit. And so one day they asked me, last week, was it last week? Yeah, so it was a couple of weeks I had seen him, but I just kind of, let the staff deal with him because I don't work with the kid and I don't know him. So one day last week, they asked me to work with this kid. And I'm thinking, oh my gosh, when they tell me who it is, I'm like, oh, this is gonna be tough. And I'm telling you, I don't know what it was. I don't know what I said, what I did any different from anybody else. But me and this kid clicked. And the teacher's looking, because I don't know the teacher and I don't know the staff in that classroom. And the teacher's looking at me like, what did you do? But I thought back to Mr. Kwama and how his words inspired me. Now, this is a different situation, of course, but I thought, I'm going to do whatever it takes to get this kid just to be calm, just to be calm. And I'm telling you, since that day, all this week, this week just ended, every time he sees me, he comes up, he gives me a big hug, and I say, Mi amigo. His name is Carlito. But I can say mi amigo. And it just lights him up. And he's been going to class. Now, I'm not saying I fixed him,
You
but
set the intention.
yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
and I don't know what it was. And it brought me, and I started thinking, I was doing exercise one morning this week, and I started thinking about him. And it just brought me to tears. I'm like, man, I touched that kid like those strangers touched me. And
Yes.
it just brought me to tears. It really did. It brought me, and I was so grateful that Mr. Kwama lit that spark in me, and now I can light it in somebody else. Sorry, I gotta stop talking before I start crying. But anyway,
I think, Jeffrey, I
Uh,
think you set that intention, and whatever force or energy came through to help you ignite that within him, it happened. Or it was like setting the intention, and as the old saying goes, make it so. Whatever you did, you intended it something to happen because that was your wish to
yeah,
be able to reach him and do whatever. And whatever magic worked through you, whether it came from you, came from a higher source or what, it was there.
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah.
Yeah. You shared that love and that I think there's a purity in that, and he recognized
yeah,
that connection. So
Oh, yeah, and the kid recognized that you wanted to reach him, that you were reaching out toward him.
Yeah.
And whether you were aware that you did that or not, that was he saw through that intention of you wanting to reach, like your teacher did for you. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Another thing I want to mention is I was just watching Jane Goodall's funeral, which was like 2 days ago. I was watching it on the YouTube just now, and her grandchildren were speaking, and different people, Leonardo DiCaprio, a lot of
Mm.
people came to speak. And then I suddenly, as I was thinking that, and I wasn't thinking our call was going to be on gratitude, but I knew I was getting ready to go on this call. I was thinking, oh, how grateful we are to have her. And they said that in the call too, how grateful we are that she taught us by example, whatever.
Yeah.
So yeah, it spreads, and it goes, we pay it all forward to some, we experience it from somewhere else.
Yeah.
Touching.
Yeah.
Carrie, you want me to supplement?
Yes, absolutely.
I realized the pause. Okay, it's really a wonderful conversation. To me, the question was like gratitude to me. It means a lot, especially in times of trouble or in times when someone is really down. I think gratitude is something you should pay attention to. It's a remedy. I see it as a remedy. You nurturing your character to be grateful about what's around you, to be grateful for the little you really have during that time can help on anxiety. I don't know where you can categorize it in the different types of therapies, but for a person to be grateful for the things they have at the moment, I presume there is a way it cuts on the stress and the worries, what's not working out, you know, for the little gestures, being grateful for the little gestures, for the little kindness that's coming your way. It can save you really a lot. And you can achieve that through being mindful. There is no way you can be grateful without being mindful.
Yeah.
You will let me know if I'm really wrong about mindfulness and gratitude. I think they move hand in hand. You can have a pen and not be grateful for it. And somebody who is mindful about the use of a pen, who really knows what a pen means to them, they can be grateful for having that pen in that particular moment. I'm just giving an example.
Yeah.
So for a person to be really grateful, they should be mindful for the rich, for the abundance they are having, for the goodness they are having. That's how you can end up being grateful. And when you're grateful, especially in times of downs, in times of trouble, it really helps a lot to save on the stress and the anxiety, knowing that truly, even though you are going through whatever you are going through, you still have something which other people don't have. Maybe you might be having food, maybe you might be having shelter. But if you're not really mindful about what you're having, you will be ungrateful. You will think the world is not just to you. Yet if you start being mindful, you realize that you're better off than even many other people. It doesn't matter what little you have. But whenever you're mindful, being mindful about what you have, being respectful for what you have, is what gratitude is to me. And many times whenever I hit rock bottom, gratitude is one of the things that really keep me moving. It ignites hope in me. I believe it ignites hope. And to everyone viewing this, who will come across this, I believe whenever you are grateful for what you have, despite the situation you are going through, there is hope that will come your way. It will ignite hope into you. And throughout the situation, you pass through the storm peacefully. It doesn't guarantee healing, but at least you go through it smoothly whenever you're grateful for those things that you're having. And even the moments that come your way, someone offering, like Jeffrey was talking about the hug, even the kid was giving Jeffrey something,
Yes.
fulfillment. I'm seeing fulfillment somewhere around there, this kid hugging Jeffrey every day, there is a way Jeffrey is fulfilled. And Jeffrey being mindful enough to realize what this hug brings into him, that's gratitude.
Yeah.
I'll end up on that.
So true.
Absolutely. Do you want to share something with us?
You mean me?
Is it Katine?
Kathy, you want to share
That,
something with us about gratitude?
Yeah.
What does
Okay.
gratitude mean?
Thank you so very much for the opportunity granted. It's my first time here, and I'm so humbled. Okay, to me, gratitude, as Jeffrey said earlier, I want to base on his story. Very many people are depressed out there. They're going through a lot, and no one knows who they will meet along the way in order to, of course, to help them overcome what they're going through. Just the very way Geoffrey said that this one particular kid, he could meet him, he gives him a hug. Just know every morning that kid knows that whenever he will meet Geoffrey, he will have life. Like Geoffrey will breathe life in him because
Mm-hmm.
maybe he's missing a fatherly love, maybe he's missing a friend, maybe he's missing a mother. So with all that Geoffrey does for him every day, it really gives him hope to face tomorrow. And regardless to whatever someone goes through, they have to be grateful to God, because even the Bible tells us that nothing happens without God knowing that we are going through this, and God doesn't give us what we can go through. And
Mm-hmm.
I believe in the Word of God, and I believe that God is the author and the finisher of everything. So you might think that maybe you're going through a storm, but sit back there and think about someone else.
mm-hmm.
Yeah, someone
Yeah.
can come and tell you a story like, you know what, I'm going through this and this and this, and like, wow, my situation is fairer than the other one.
Yes.
So we have to be grateful and thankful to everything. To me, that's how I can tell gratitude.
Okay,
Thank you.
about that, I will just supplement on that a little. What I've just realized that even if you don't have, even if things are not working out like the way you expected, let's say you're on your workplace, now every day there is a day. Let's minimize it into, okay, let us bring it down to our days. For example, today you'll go out there, you'll have your expectations, but even if the day doesn't reach your expectations, I believe you should be grateful. You should look back on the little you have seen throughout the day, the people you have, that would be enough for you to be grateful for the day, you
Mm-hmm.
know, and go back home happy, go back home smiling, without even you depressing yourself or being ungrateful to yourself. Whenever you're not grateful for what you have, you end up being ungrateful, even you yourself, like to your true self.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you.
Yeah, absolutely. Beautiful. Beautiful. I find kind of similar to what Jimmy was saying is that so many of us, when we experience something in our lives, we say, why did this happen to me?
Mm-hmm.
And when we can shift that thought to, why did this happen for me? Like there's something to learn, there's a growth opportunity. Um, and that shifts that from that victim mentality to a growth mentality. And that's kind of how I see the difference between um, staying in that woe is me place and being in that look at me grow place.
Mm-hmm.
Because everything happens. I mean, you just have to believe this, right? That everything happens for a reason. And it's up to us to take that event and use it to our benefit. Because if
Mm-hmm.
we don't, then we do end up in that low vibrational, negative, fearful place. So
Mm-hmm.
that really changed my life when I started thinking in those terms.
Yeah.
So I think Neil's on a phone call. So yeah, there was something else I wanted to say about that. What was it? I think, going back to your example, Jeffrey, is that um, how energy is contagious,
Yeah.
right? And your energy was, you went into it with, I'm going to help this kid as best I can.
Mhm.
Where somebody who's worked with him and has struggled with him, they come at him with an energy of frustration before they even meet
Right.
him. And he felt your energy and that positivity and love that you brought into that relationship, and he wanted to reciprocate that because that feels good and safe and kind.
And I was intimidated by him. I was like, how am I going to deal with this kid? Because I've seen him out on the yard. I'm like, man, how do they deal with that kid all day? And so I was really intimidated, but I said, I'm not going to show that, and I'm not going to let him frustrate me. I know what he does. I know what to expect. And
Mm-hmm.
flipped it on him. And he would look at me like the first day that we worked together. He would look, I got him in the class, and he would look at me expecting one response. And I've been doing this a long time. I was like, no, that's what you're expecting. I'm not gonna do that. So I would do something else. I try to get him back on path, of course, but I wouldn't give him the response that he was so used to. And I think that kind of blew him away. I really do. And then after that, it was just like a different kid. Not an angel. I'm not saying that, but a totally different kid in that classroom. And since that time, this whole week, the last couple of weeks, he's like a totally different child. And yeah, it just like it made me cry. Like, wow, maybe sometimes we're looking for our gifts. We think, okay, this is I write, I do this, I do, and then the things that we do every day are beautiful gifts, but we don't give them any attention. So
Right.
this little boy made me focus on that gift that I have, which is probably the most important gift, is how I treat other human beings. I'm thinking
Yeah.
about the writing and the singing and all the things I want to do in the books and all that stuff, but it made me reflect on the most important gift, which is how I interact with other humans. And I think that's what choked me up. Like, man, God or Allah, whatever you want to call it, man, you gave me this gift and I'm overlooking it because I'm trying to do all these other things. But that's the most important gift because I may have changed something in that kid for the rest of his life. I don't know. He definitely changed something in me. So yeah, so
That
it just made me
changes.
reflect on where my gratitude should be, you know.
Well, it reminds me of something I my dad always had these little chunks of wisdom that, it took me 55 years to finally figure out. But when we were probably early teens, maybe a little earlier, we had a neighbor beside us. She had 3 kids, and but this lady was, I'm sure she had some mental health issues. And she would do things like walk up and down our neighborhood with a gun on her hip or whatever. So um, her kids started being, we were friends at first, but then she would tell her kids to be mean to us.
Mm.
So they would call us names when we walked by and all the stuff. And my dad told me one time, he's like, next time Kenny yells at you something, look him in the eye and say, I love you, Kenny. And that was that unexpected shift. And he was like, what? What? That was not what I was expecting. Because I was expecting this like exchange of hatred and meanness. And I just looked at him and said, I love you. And he just went back in the house, and I kept on walking. And it totally changed the dynamic of that neighborhood energy. I was like, yeah, you're pretty smart, Daddy. And you did the same thing, right? You shifted his energy by shifting your expectation and your way of dealing with him. Such a beautiful thing.
It's beautiful indeed.
Yeah.
I see something
Beautiful.
that's Carrie, what my mom said to me, and I was in the 6th grade. There was this really horrible, I'll say horrible, um, coach. And yeah, the coaches teach PE or whatever classes. He was one of the football coaches, and he was the kid or the guy that was probably a retired drill sergeant and came in when we were talking too loud to make us do push-ups or something. And he was just really, one day he was just really coming down on us hard. And I came home, my mom always talked to me about things. And she says, You don't know where he's at. He could have had a fight with his wife this morning. She started making up all these scenarios. He could have, he could have had a bad day too. He might, it's not right, but he might be just taking it out on y'all for whatever happened to him.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
And at that time I had this thought of suddenly, and my mom always talked to us, on our level, that adults are humans too. They're not all out to get us. They're not all this. And it made me wake up that even though they might be coming down on us hard and treating us unfairly, we don't know, we haven't walked in their shoes, kind of thing.
Right.
And that's what I see too, is back to Jeffrey's, the kid, is he's expecting and all those adults to react the same way. And Jeffrey, you said too that you weren't sure what you were going to do, or how am I going to help this kid? And you were a little tense, but you realized you made that decision. You're not going to be like the others. And he recognized that right away.
Yeah. Yeah. It's a self-fulfilling prophecy, right? Like,
Yeah.
you have this expectation and you can make it happen, be it good or bad.
Okay, Kerry.
Yes.
Thank you, Terry, for the amazing experience sharing with us that story way back in 6th grade.
Yeah.
Okay, it was really wonderful. I want to bring you to a concern. Hold on. I want to bring you to a concern from our flyer. I have a, okay. Eric, are you getting me?
Yes.
Yeah.
I want to bring you guys to a concern about our flyer. It said, life is a journey. I've just read this from here. Life is a journey, not a race. Embrace each step, purpose, and gratitude.
Mm-hmm.
So life is a journey, not a race. This takes me back to our daily activities. Our daily activities, how we run our days. Presently in this generation, people are so busy that they can't even realize the good in life. I think this is what the flyer is bringing us to. It's the reason I was telling you, like, guys, let me bring you to a point of concern. We were going to talk about life is a journey, where every person, it's our call to everyone outside there to live life as a journey, not as a race. How? To start paying detail, to start being mindful about everything that's coming their way in life. Let's say, I will go back to the example I gave. Look at your day today. Today it is Saturday. You are going out. You have your expectations. You have your appointments, people you have to meet, errands you have to run, sales you have to make. But let's say the day, by evening, the day has ended without you reaching your full expectations. But you should not beat yourself for the day. You should not be bitter to yourself or to life as a whole for things not going out well in your day. Our prayer as Be the Spark movement is people to start being mindful about the good that comes their way, despite the many hardships, the many disappointments. Let's say that sale did not come out, you did not close that sale, but don't forget you met some wonderful person at that particular building or at that particular workplace. Let's say your event did not work out very well, but don't forget you reached a certain milestone. You should learn to congratulate yourself, and that's what gratitude calls us for.
Yes.
Finding the good in bad, finding the good even in the storms.
Yeah, so true.
People should stop rushing. People, they rush a lot and forget even to live this life. There is a saying, it was in 2018 when I just started working, that it was at a teacher's place, a fellow teacher, when I was still teaching literature. It said, it was a plaque on the wall. It said, you should, it was like, you should work, but don't forget to live life. Many people work for life, but forget to live the life they are working for.
That's so
Many
true.
people are chasing after life, but they forget to live the life they are chasing. You know,
Very
Yeah.
true.
the generation is losing itself in between this race of making sure life is really good. But at the end of the day, by the time they live this life, they don't even have a story they can tell about their lives. So my prayer, and as a movement to everyone outside there, I want you guys to add your voice onto this, since it was our major topic, how people can really find the good in life. We know life is challenging, it's disappointing, but we should not forget that life is also filled with these good experiences, like the one that Jeffrey was highlighting, like the one that Terry was telling us in the 6th grade, like these amazing experiences which Kerry was sharing. Life is still having these things. Those people you are rushing, like those people you are passing by as you are rushing, they would want to talk to you. They would want you at least to say hi.
Yes,
We should that's what makes us human. That's
Yeah.
what makes us human. Whenever we are mindful, whenever we are grateful, and pay attention to the smallest details of life. Thank you. You can add on that and go on with the
I
conversation.
agree.
Oh, that's beautiful.
I
That's so
agree.
yeah. And this is one of the reasons, Be the Spark. I, I we say what we put this all together for, but in a selfish way, I'm a part of Be the Spark because every time I come to Be a Spark meeting, a Zoom meeting, I get something from it. So I'm going to be honest with you. I'm very selfish. And what I get from this really propels me through the week or through the month. It really, there's never been so for selfish reasons, that's what that's why I'm a part of this too. Because I really get so much out of it and it helps me in my day to day. It really does. The comments,
Amen.
yeah.
I agree. I agree. Neil, you have anything you want to add?
Hey, Neil.
Hey, everybody. No, unfortunately I was on the phone for quite some time now, so I'm just kind of trying to catch up. Sorry.
Yeah.
So,
Well, I'll add something that I was sharing with my mom yesterday. So I walked around the car to put air in her tire and I found a penny and I went to her window and I gave it to her and she was like, and I said, well, Wayne Dyer, I was listening to Wayne Dyer podcast or something, whatever it was. And I said, he said, whenever you find the smallest thing, especially money wise, you can say, thank you for the abundance, whether it be
Mm,
a penny or $100 bill.
mm,
And when you are grateful for such a tiny amount, then it's
yeah.
easier to look for and be grateful for future
Mm,
gifts and future
all right.
abundance, be
Yeah.
it financial or other things.
Mhm.
And
Yeah.
so I found that penny and I was like, thank you,
Yeah.
thank you for the abundance.
Yeah.
Little things.
Little things. Yeah. We can have a conversation. And like I said, you guys know the population I work with. We can have a conversation. And just being able to have a conversation, I'm grateful because I work with kids and adults who can't have conversations. They speak another language, and a lot of times it's hard to understand them because, their minds work a little bit differently. But we can just get on here and we can have conversations. By working in that population, it makes me really grateful that I can have a conversation, and people can understand me with not too much difficulty. But I work with people that's not always the case, and they get frustrated because they know what they want to say, but we don't understand it because it's coming in a different way than we're used to. So even that, I'm grateful. I really am.
Yeah. All those little things that we
Mhm.
take for granted.
Yeah.
But until you work with somebody who feels trapped inside
Mhm.
themselves,
Yeah.
um, yeah, you don't realize how amazing
Oh,
it is.
okay. When you mentioned that the other day, I was Okay, Kerry.
Yes.
Thank you, Terry, for the quote. Thank
Oh, yeah.
you. I was saying when you mentioned like the people who are trapped in their bodies, the other day when I just returned, like when I just brought mom back home, at her neighbor's place, there was a young boy. I think he's 16. He's a teen. He's a deaf. He's a deaf. But I was watching from the balcony, and I saw this boy was struggling to also have communication with the friends, with the mates.
Mm-hmm.
And if you are not in his position, you will not know how much communication is of value to him. So most of us don't value these small details. I'm picking from Kerry's submission about the things, the smallest details, that you will
Mm-hmm.
not know how something is really important until you are trapped, if you were trapped into that body.
Mm-hmm.
Like you don't know how communication and saying hi to somebody, being able to say hi to somebody, it really means a lot to someone who is deaf than
Yeah.
you is. For you, you already have this. You don't know that it's really an opportunity. It's a pleasure for you to say hi to a fellow, to a friend. But then these people have this opportunity, don't use it. They take it for granted. They think it's just something life offers. But then there are those people who are really yearning also to engage in something like that. And they wish like if we had this opportunity just to say hi, to be seen without us tapping on somebody's back, but just
Yeah.
to call onto them. But you will agree with me, you know, devs really struggle to say hi to you. They have to first knock on you. But for you, you have the ability to say, hello, how was your
Mm-hmm.
day? Good morning. Are you
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
fine? Are you well? But you're not using it, you're not paying details. And trust me, with these few things, expressions and details, we can make the world a better place. We make good friends, and even people can really influence our lives, who can put a brick on our lives. That's how they come. They come from the simplest things that we take for granted.
Yep.
Thank you.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
beautiful. So
Yes.
true.
Yeah.
So true.
It's funny how granted and gratitude are sound similar, but they mean such opposite things. You know?
Yeah. Yeah. So true. I worked with this kid years. This is in New York, who I don't like heat. I don't like a whole lot of heat, right? And so I'm complaining, but I worked with this kid. It was summertime, and I working with this kid, and he was in a group home. So he's multiply handicapped, couldn't speak, was in a wheelchair, that kind of thing. You had to do everything for him and everything. Um, so coming in, I was gonna spend a day with him. It was shifts because he had to have somebody with him all the 24 hours. So it was my shift to work with him. And they told me, and I'm complaining about the heat. I'm coming in from into the air condition, complaining about the heat, like, oh my God, I'm all sweaty, and I just, oh my God. So I'm complaining, right? And so I'm sitting in with this kid, and they have a fan on him. I'm like, man, we got the air conditioning, and we got a fan on this kid. He's got to be cold, but he can't speak. So I'm like, he's probably uncomfortable. So I go in there. I'm like, you think I think his name was Richard. Rich, you think Richard's kind of uncomfortable because it's kind of chilly in here? And the lady says, no. Richard needs a fan 24 hours a day because Richard can't sweat. Now I'm complaining about sweating and Richard can't sweat. And then it makes me think, oh my God, me sweating is my body doing what it's supposed to do.
Mhm.
But Richard's body doesn't do that. So little things like that, working in the community with handicaps and shortcomings, those kind of things made me so grateful for just a little. I'm like, I'm complaining about sweat, and this kid cannot sweat. He has to be cooled off all the time, even when it's 5 degrees outside. So yeah, just the little things. Yeah.
Yeah.
And I've only gotten those from those people with those complications. If I hadn't met those people throughout my life, I probably wouldn't look at things the way I do. So I'm grateful for even meeting those people with those challenges because they made me um, really appreciate what I had as far it just health wise.
Yeah.
So many little ways to be grateful. It really is.
And trust me, to add on that, Jeffrey, just a little, what I wanted to say, whenever we start seeing these little things, paying detail to these small details, there is a way it shapes our mindset, the way we look at things. We learn to look at life with a positive attitude, respecting things in life, respecting the little meals we have, respecting the time people give to us. You know, it shapes our mindset.
Mm-hmm.
And I think it shapes our personality as well, being mindful and grateful to the few things in life.
Yeah.
Yeah, so we actually can form ruts in our brain that are easier to take, right? The negative, the whatever it is we tell ourselves. And we can actually shift that and make new ruts in our brain just by making a conscious choice.
Yep.
Pretty amazing. Our bodies are pretty amazing.
Yep. And we go get gemstones, and I love gemstones and all that stuff, but the biggest gems on this planet are us. We're the gemstones. We
Yep.
really are. We just don't realize, but we're the gemstones. I love gemstones and I surround myself with them, but the energy that they give, I give just as much, if not more. So we're the gemstones. We just have to see ourselves that way and see other people that we interact with that way. And
Yeah.
that's, you know, sparking those that inspiration in people. So
That ripple effect.
hmm
And why is it that negative energy is so much easier to connect to, you know?
yeah, so true.
And that's the thing about that viral. I use that term loosely because it wasn't that viral, but the video I did about complaining about my cell phone and complaining about the doctor's appointment, like people were like, the comments were really kind. At first, I was like, gosh, everybody's so attracted to this negative. Like they listened to the whole video and they commented on it, and I'm like, are we really at that place in our world where we want to be in that negative place and it's easier? And I read the comments and then I started having that mindset shift that, like, no, I think people are struggling and they're really are miserable, and they want to know that they're not miserable alone. So if they're reaching out, apologizing for what you've been through in your misery, relating to that misery, then okay, so we sit in that place with them and then make that connection so we can lift them up.
Mm.
Does that make sense? Like, I think people want to know that they're not alone, regardless of whatever it is that they're going through. And our world is such a negative, empty place right now that that's the place that people can connect.
Yeah, it's really. I'm gonna share something. Hopefully, my son won't hear this and get mad at me, but I'm gonna share it. It's a personal thing, but I'm gonna share it. My granddaughter, who lives in Maryland, with her mom, uh, got into some trouble, got into some fights. Right? We all have well, many of us have gotten into fights as we're growing up. You know, that's kind of a normal adolescent thing, right? But I think I don't know. I don't understand the world now. Now they videotape, so they consciously set up a place to go fight and consciously cut on their video. And they made four different, it just broke my heart. I'm like, oh my God, this is what this negativity is so it's almost like a virus. It really is. And people will, yeah, and they made four different. I haven't even spoke to my granddaughter since then. I'm going to write her a long letter. I'm going to write a physical letter for her. I'm not going to do it through the internet. I'm going to write her a letter that she has to open up and actually read because
Mm,
she's always on the phone and always on. And
yeah.
but that I'm like, my gosh, we are so infected with this negativity that we put it. We know it's going to get likes, so we do something as dumb as that. And it just really, I'm like, wow, we really, I don't know. I don't understand it sometimes. I really don't. But that's something that I've dealt with for the last week or so because I just got it. But I wouldn't watch it. I still haven't watched it. I've watched portions of it, but I haven't. I'm not gonna watch that foolishness, even though it's my blood involved in it. Willingly. Wow. Anyway, Yeah, but negativity seems to be this thing that goes viral. People love it, and I don't understand why. You go on the internet on any topic that you want to
Mm-hmm.
find a negative on that topic, and look at the likes and views, and then the positive on that. It doesn't even weigh out. Nowhere close. The negativity is going to win every single time, hands down. And then you put some positive out there, and it's look, and it tells you how many seconds people watch it. It'll be like 3 seconds, 5 seconds, 7 seconds. But put some negativity, they'll watch that fucking tape all, excuse my language. They'll watch it all the way through and be wanting for, that's I don't understand it. I really don't. But anyway, that's me venting.
I'm with you. I'm with you. We see it. I mean, it's in every aspect of our lives.
Mm.
You can easily find the negative.
Yeah.
And I think that people find it easier to like pull people into that misery with them
Mhm.
than people shift that attitude and want to grow from it. It is sad. Sad.
Yeah, it is. But
But
that's why we have things like this going on.
yeah.
We can't,
It's
we
okay,
can't.
Jeffrey.
Uh-huh.
It's okay.
What'd you say, Jimmy?
I'm saying it's okay. It's really okay. There's been
Oh,
an emotional story. For me, what I think negativity is a weapon which the system uses mostly. Like bad people. Are you getting me?
Yes.
yeah, yeah. Uh-huh.
I think negativity, most of the time, systems, different types of systems, is what they use to divert people.
Mm,
Uh, it's like their weapon of governance. What what we should be preaching right now should be positivity, working together, loving each other, being kind to each other,
mm-hmm.
sharing wisdom and knowledge, because I believe everyone knows what I believe everyone has something they know which they can share with the other.
Mm-hmm.
And if we make the world a better place and create platforms, we provide a ground where we can share with each other openly without contradiction. Rather, contradiction is okay without judgment. Without judgment, I think
Mm-hmm.
the world would be a better place. But there is no way possibility will be preached when negativity at all agendas is the one they are advocating for, because some of the people benefit from it. Look at social media. Whenever negativity is moving, uh, there is virality, and even brands are making what money, because where where audience goes is where the energy goes. I think it's a saying in marketing. So everything now is institutionalized. The system is full of systems, because someone somewhere is making money.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
True.
we should preach positivity much more. But with this going on, different systems, different institutions, for example, the business arena, they only love negativity, because now digital marketing is the way to go. And how do you achieve that? By preaching some negative thing. It brings you virality, those are likes and everything, algorithms, then you can push your brand. You get. So good things no longer work. Good things are no longer available. Things that bind us together are now ignored for the sake of making money, for the sake of pushing some political agendas, for the sake of some different beliefs.
Yeah.
And now humanity is being lost in between.
Yeah.
It's so true. I was thinking like even like especially play on women. You need this cosmetic because you don't look as good as these other women, or you need this because you need these jeans because they're going to make your butt look better, and how we play on that negativity of people's self-talk
Mm,
to make money and to have power and control. I mean, it's
yeah.
Yeah. But that's the way we have to shift it with that gratitude, right?
Mhm.
I wish
Yeah,
I
being
had
great.
I wish I had written this down. It was like one person's positivity can counteract so many people's negativity.
Mhm.
So we got to start bringing that the
1%.
positive, more people into positive so we can counteract all the negative in the world.
Many people's negative.
Yeah, so true. And love is so powerful that
Mhm.
a little bit of it, just a
Love
little
is
bit of
powerful.
it outweighs hate, just a little bit, I think that's what I think I've said this before. I think love keeps this world together. Even though we see all these pockets of hate, but love is so strong in those small places all around the world that it keeps things together. Or we just have a big ball of confusion, a big ball of fire if it wasn't for love's power. So
Yeah.
love is that we just have to put more out there, as best we can. That's all we can do.
Well, and it goes back to what's highlighted, right? Those negative videos and you're not going to see the media share somebody holding the door for somebody um or paying somebody's grocery bill or anything like that. You don't see that as often as you see the fights, the anger, the
Yeah.
all that stuff.
Yeah. There was a lady in New York, an older lady. I mean, when I say older, I mean like she maybe close to 80, 80, maybe early 80s. And there was a problem with like during the winter time, uh these predators, like little girls would have to be sitting at the bus stop getting ready to go to high school. And there was like these predators and it was a real problem. And this old woman took it upon herself. Now she couldn't help everybody, but she'd get in her little car, pick up these girls that she knew were sitting up because these predators were out there, and she would take them to school. I'm like, my God, nobody even knows this. I don't even know her name. To this day, I don't know her name. I'm like,
Yeah.
those little acts like that, oh my God, such beautiful acts. But if she was doing something crazy, she'd be all over the place. But because she was doing that beautiful act with girls that weren't related to her, she just felt like, hey, these are young girls and it can be dangerous out here. She took her in the wintertime, she would pick these girls up and say, no, don't sit at the bus stop. I'll take you to school. Their parents weren't even doing that. She was
Yeah.
doing so those little acts. So we have people like that. That just doesn't get the plays. It doesn't. It happens all the time, but it just doesn't get.
I think from what you okay. Okay, I think from what you have just said, Jeffrey, I think it is everyone's responsibility to make our world a better place
Mm-hmm.
for us. I would use some technical word for us to renovate. Captain.
Yep.
So,
Yep.
okay. I was reading Terry's comment. It was directed to Jeffrey. But I was saying to
Mm-hmm.
us who are on this platform today and everyone who will be streaming, I'm saying that I believe it's everyone's responsibility to make a world a better place.
Yeah.
And it starts from your own perspective, from your own household. Then you ignite the energy into your community, from your community into your country,
Yeah.
Hmm.
and to the rest of the world.
Yep.
But it's everyone's responsibility. Now, what we are seeing today on different platforms, in different arenas, different settings, I believe it's because people are running from the responsibility, are
Mm.
running from the conversation that we should make our world a better place, that we should renovate. I'm using a technical word now. We should renovate. I'm borrowing that one
Hmm.
into into my explanation. Like, we should
Mm.
renovate. Like life needs renovation now.
Yeah.
Life is not really good, but it's an initiative for every one of us today to come and we revise the way we look at life. And one of the things we are seeing is being grateful that you know what we have we have drafted life, we have made life to be something like
Oh, you froze.
Yeah, it froze, Jimmy. Well, pop back in, Jimmy, if you unfreeze.
sorry,
What?
sorry, sorry. Are
No,
you there?
no, good. Go ahead.
I've lost you. It was a call. Somebody was calling.
Yeah.
I was saying we are saying, look here, as BTSM, to everyone outside there, this conversation is beginning from here, but we should bring this conversation to our own homes, to even our inner selves, to our workplaces. That look here, we should have these hard conversations whereby we are saying now, look, we know we need the money, we know we need the branding, we need the sales and the marketing, but this internet, we have power of it, you know. It should not control us. We can control this.
That's
Mhm.
true.
And it's not something which needs to be legislated. No, it's something we need to put in our minds. It's a mindset that, you know what, life
Mhm.
should be full of positive vibes. Life should be good. Life should be considerate, where everyone is considerate to the other, where everyone is really kind to. Kindness is not something we should ask for. I
Right.
believe kindness is something
Mhm.
we should be exercised, we should be shown every day in our lives.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And if
Yeah.
we,
Should be a
and what
foundation.
we are seeing,
Yes.
it should be a foundation. That's the right word to use. And
Mhm.
what we are seeing today is lack of conversations like this, is lack of responsibility, where the world is running from the responsibility that they believe that somebody somewhere one day will come and clean the mess they are creating. And we are not paying detail that these things are escalating, that one day it reach a point when no one can provide a solution, and we look for a solution in different sides, in science, in every corner,
Yeah.
forgetting that the solution is ourselves.
Mhm.
If we are not grateful
Yeah.
for the little we have, if we are not mindful for the life we are living today, tomorrow life is not guaranteed that it will be fine for everyone. Thank you.
I
Yeah, very,
agree.
very true.
I agree. And the other thought I was
Yes.
thinking, listening to your story, Jeffrey, is that the people who do these kind of things, they aren't looking for accolades.
Mm.
They aren't looking for all these little gold stars or jewels in their crown. They're doing it from their heart.
Yeah.
And that's when it's the purest. And that's when I think it's the most powerful energetically, right? Nobody's video recording it and putting it on the internet, which you wish they would because we want to share that beauty with the world. But I think it makes a very powerful impact when you're moving just straight from your heart and your compassion and your empathy, as
Right.
opposed to look at me and look what I'm doing.
Right.
Yes,
That's
Adon. Okay. Kathy wanted to say something.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Uh, okay, to me, what I think is, if we are negative about something, let me put it in a marketing perspective. Let's say I bring up a brand, and the fact that I know what the internet wants, and I lie about it, it goes viral, I'll get customers. But trust me not, it's a short-term thing.
Mm.
Once you're negative or speak lies about something, it's a short-term thing. Yes, you gain the market, you gain the audience, you gain the people, the population, they will come in. But as long as someone starts using your products and they really find that they are not authentic, and they can't use them anymore, they will turn you down. Even the internet itself will forsake you because of your products. So I believe that once someone is setting up something, they have to be first positive about it. Create a mindset that regardless to the numbers that I'll get, regardless to the people I will meet, I have to be positive. Positively, being positive, it all starts with me.
To make us,
Yeah. And that alone will help me achieve all what I want, because as long as everything that I do, that I share about, I'll be a living example to someone who has no hope, someone who feels like they've failed in life. They'll look at me, like they'll tell my story, and they're like, you know what? Kathy did this, and truly it worked out for
Mm.
her for
Mm.
her. So let's stop being negative and let's keep positive in everything that we do. Even when you see that it's going to fail, when you believe that it will not work out, you have to be positive. A positive mind really makes you achieve all what you want.
That's true.
Okay, to someone outside there,
Yes.
I
Yeah.
think a
Very wise.
positive mind brings long-term results than a negative mind. Whenever we are positive, whenever we use positive approaches to whatever we are doing, we get long-term results.
Mhm.
Hello. Yes,
Great.
we get long-term results than something negative. Most of you look at the reality on the internet. These things, why we call them viral, is because they don't stay for so long. Today it will be viral, tomorrow it's not there. But
Yeah.
one thing that everyone outside there, whenever you try out a positive approach, okay, it may not really go viral the first time, or it will not blow immediately. But one thing I can guarantee you is that you'll have long-term success, long-term results. Even if there is a business owner, oh, sorry, a little bit. Or even if you're a business owner, even if you're a leader at your company or in your community, whenever you start being positive in your approaches, these bring long-term results, stable results than using negative approaches, which will bring in quick audience, quick,
Mm.
how do we call that? Masses, presence of people, but they will not last. They won't dwell there for so long after after some time. So if you want, okay, to cut the long story short, if you want to do something long term, you should be positive. And positive means being grateful for the little you have without compromising for anything that's taking place in the community or in the trends. Thank you.
Yeah. True. True. True.
Wow, that's
Authenticity.
some profound wisdom.
Yeah.
Definitely.
Okay, I have one along the line of what Jeffrey or what Jimmy was saying. And Jeffrey and Carrie and Neil might remember him. Remember a famous Amos?
Yeah.
It's the guy in California who made the
Yeah.
cookies.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He made these wonderful chocolate chip cookies, and then he just started selling them on the street. He'd make them at home in his kitchen and then go out in the world. It just became a, oh gosh, I was going to say, I remember seeing them like 10 years ago still in the store. The company was still around. He started out just spreading goodwill, spreading
Yeah.
nice words and smiles and cookies.
Yep.
And his concept was just that he loved the cookies so much that he wanted to spread joy to the world.
Mm-hmm.
And that's all he did, and it worked.
Yeah.
Because a kind word with good intentions goes much faster.
Yeah.
Okay, criticism can go fast too, but it pays off eventually over the world. And I think that's
Yeah.
I don't know why I hadn't thought of him in forever, but
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes.
Right. He left a legacy
He really did.
of kindness.
Positive.
And
He
yeah.
always was. Had that smile, and yeah, he's just talking about cookies. Something. Yeah, he made you want to eat the cookies because he's so positive about it. He loved. Seemed like he loved his cookies more than anybody else. So you want.
Love that.
And while I was looking down for that Wayne Dyer quote, I found another Wayne Dyer quote. I'm going to read this. When I chased after money, I never had enough. When I got my life on purpose and focused on giving myself and everything that arrived in my life, giving of myself and everything that arrived in my life, then I was prosperous.
Hmm. Yeah.
Yeah. Because you're grateful for what you have.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Yeah. Beautiful quote. Thank you, Terry, for looking that
This
up.
was amazing, man. An
Does he
amazing.
have books? This Dyer guy. I like some of the quotes you guys have talked about with
Oh
him. He
yeah.
has books. He does. Okay.
He's got lots of books. Yeah.
Probably 50, over
Oh.
50.
Okay. Yeah, I got to look him up then.
Yes, and
Before we leave, Terry, I know you're in Germany, right? And I
yeah.
know Jimmy's in Uganda. I'm going to put this out there. It has nothing to do with the topic, but because you guys are on here and ladies are on here, I want to ask you. I'm really thinking about moving abroad and maybe teaching. I don't have a degree, but I have a lot of experience with English. I'm good with English. Anyway, if you have any ideas about somebody wanting to, I don't want to teach full time, but if that'll keep me somewhere for a year or so, I really want to do that. So I know you're in Germany, Jimmy's in Uganda. Um, I just want to put it out there. So whatever comes of it, if you can email me some information, how I can
We
go
shall
about,
talk.
let me know.
Yeah, I'll check some resources. There's always opportunities, even if you're teaching like English as a second language or something like that. There's there's opportunities too.
Okay.
All right, Jeffrey, you spoke that out into the universe.
Yep.
You know
Okay,
what that
we
means?
shall talk. We shall have a chat. Even
Okay.
if
There's
it's not
also,
Uganda, I may recommend you some.
oh, sorry, Jimmy.
Oh, it's okay, Terry. I was saying we shall look into that. Even if it's not Uganda, we shall see where to recommend you. You are an amazing soul, and you know you will do a great
But
job.
I really want to do that. I really, before I leave this planet, I want to yeah, I want to be another culture and just, help how I can, help how I can. But that's on my bucket list. So I'm gonna try it. We'll see.
Jeffrey, here's something too. There's a group. Um, it's called Pueblo Ingles.
Mm-hmm.
And there's also the German version, English Hausen. So what it is, it's a group of native English speakers
Mm-hmm.
that can travel, and as long as you can get your plane ticket to wherever.
Mm-hmm.
So English Hausen is either Munich or Frankfurt where they start, and there's several in Spain that do that. So they teach, it's an English workshop, English as a second language workshop. So it's where the locals of those countries go for a 1 week workshop and then they work. So basically, everything you do once you land and meet up with the people is free. So you go to this hotel and stay there for a week. Your hotel's covered. I'll send you the link on that too. The hotel's covered. You just have to pay, carry you
Mm.
to pay the
I might love that as well.
airfare
Yeah,
to get,
definitely. Yeah.
yeah. And you get to meet a lot of cool people from various countries around the world and get to talk to people. And they do basically little workshops, group activities, that type of thing to help people improve their language skills. And the Spanish companies and the German companies do that. They send their workers there so they get to strengthen their English skills. So usually they're decent English speakers, but they need to improve their skills. I did that for several years, and it was really fun actually to be able to be around people and connect.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay.
And the
Thank you so
only
much.
resource you have to have is to be able to afford a plane ticket to get there.
Okay. Okay.
Oh,
Thank
cool.
Sorry to take it off the topic. I just wanted to, before everybody left, I wanted to put that out there.
Yeah. Well, does anybody have any final words on gratitude before we end our November Be the Spark movement conversation on gratitude?
I'm just really grateful that I met all of you and that we're doing this. I'm really, you have no idea. Every single one of the meetings, I don't even call them meetings. They're like communal get-togethers, but they have really influenced me and impacted me. So thank you all. I appreciate it. And I'm glad we did this and I hope it continues and I hope we all build from this and take it around the world, however that is going to happen.
Thank you, everyone, for coming through today. Thank you for always paying heart to the movement. We had really a very great conversation, and always the stories being shared are so impactful, and I think they last. For me, I believe they last within me. I have a lot I learned from them. I have a lot I've learned from everyone, the team, especially from the last project, the other side of Fear Book. Everyone who contributed, I will use this chance and this opportunity to extend my sincere appreciation to everyone who participated, everyone who did a great job on that particular one. However, back to the topic for today, I'll conclude by saying that to everyone viewing this, everyone outside there, we should start being grateful by being mindful. We should start being grateful by being mindful. The
Mm-hmm.
few things that life offers to us. Let it be a little food, a person, a moment, an occasion. Just be mindful about it, and please find a way of finding happiness, finding appreciation into that particular thing.
Mhm.
That's what I had for you tonight. Thank you.
Thank
Mhm.
You
you.
want to?
Mhm.
To me, I would like to say thank you once again for meeting this beautiful family. Thank you for loving Jimmy. Who really has been telling me about this every now and then. They're like, you know what, you need to meet these people, you need to meet these people. I'm so glad that today I was in position to meet you people. And whatever we have shared, honestly, it has impacted me. I've learned something. And I believe with the story we have begun, we shall hit it to the top most high. And back to gratitude, everyone has to be, as Jimmy has been saying, everyone has to be mindful. You know, once you are mindful of what you have, you appreciate everything around you. But
Mhm.
if you're not having it in mind that, you know what, even the little that I have will cause an impact in my life, you will not be grateful. You start having a negative thought about everything. Your surrounding will become the worst place you can ever be in. But
Mhm.
to everyone watching us there, you have to be positive. You have to love yourself first. You
Mhm.
have to smile, because a smile is okay. Smiling is like medicine.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm.
Yes.
Yeah, it's like medicine. So the more you smile,
Yeah.
the more you breathe life in yourself and to someone else. Thank
Exactly.
you, and I love you all.
So grateful to have met you. Thank you.
Gotta run, folks. Good to see
Hey,
you all.
Bye,
look at
Terry.
that.
Thank you.
See you. Bye.
Bye
Okay.
bye.
My
Neil, do you?
request will be, uh, before Neil say, okay, my request will be, once Neil finishes, like once Neil concludes, I would love to talk to you, Jeffrey. Maybe you'll hang on as well, Kerry.
Okay.
Let's first
Okay.
conclude the
Yep.
meeting.
Yep. Yep. Okay.
I was going to say I'm just grateful for everybody joining, much like what Jeffrey said, and the support that you provide to carrying each other. I think it's very special. So I'm very grateful for everybody on the call. So especially Jimmy and Jeffrey, not that now Terry's left, but especially you guys. Appreciate you very much.
Yeah. Thank
Thank
you,
you.
Neil. And thank you, Neil, for letting Carrie do the, because I know you guys have a life and
Yeah, sure.
you
You've
understand.
you've you've met Carrie, so the thought of
Yeah.
me letting her do anything
She gonna do her thing,
doesn't that
huh?
doesn't really fly. But okay, I know what you're saying.
Nice.
But I'm happy to support her. We'll put it that way.
Yeah. Yeah.
Thank you, always. We are forever grateful.
Yeah.
Well, I'm
All
just
right, guys.
grateful.
Thank you.
Yeah, I'm just grateful for everybody and everything. And I try to really focus on the tiny things. And, my prayers every night begin with thank you for. Um, and
Mhm.
I just always hope that I can move in this world in that way.
Yeah.
So, but I'm so grateful for each of you, even those that I have never met. If you're watching this out in the future,
Mhm.
I'm grateful for. I'm grateful for you.
Yeah.
All right.
Awesome.
I'm going to
Thanks,
jump
guys.
off Facebook and then we can have, let's see. Whoops.